Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Thank you, Mataji. So we'll start today's our discussion with Mangala Charan. So who would like to sing the Mangala Charan, please? Harini Mataji, do you want to sing the Mangala Charan? Okay, maybe Mataji is busy. Okay, then Indira Mataji, you want to sing the Mangala Charan, please?
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, devotees. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Sri Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindobhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Bol Mataji. Thank you so much for reciting the Mangala Charan. So today we'll start the new chapter, the opulence of the absolute truth. So I'm sharing the verse. It's a very beautiful chapter. Once again, all the chapter in Bhagavad Gita are beautiful, and this is also one of the very beautiful chapter. Let me share this. So here, so in the last chapter, 10th chapter was about the confidential knowledge given by Lord Krishna to his pure devotees Arjuna. And getting that knowledge, someone has to be surrendered as well as faithful and inquisitive to know Krishna, to love Krishna. So, we read yesterday about very wonderful slok, and that was the last sloka. Man mana bhava mad bhakta, mad ajija namaskuru. So, man mana bhava mad bhakta. So, Krishna is telling, thinking of me, always thinking of me, become my devotees. So, Krishna is telling to thinking of me, but how think about Krishna's glories, Krishna's opulence, Krishna's vibhuti. Vibhuti is opulence, Krishna's opulence. So, in this chapter, Krishna will tell to Arjuna about this opulences. And when we think about those opulences, understand the opulences, we will love Krishna more. So, let's begin the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10.1. So, any Matajis and Prabhujis, please read this verse, please.
I can try, Mataji.
Sure.
Devotees, Pranam, all the British Prabhupada. Bhuyo eva maha Sivanvacho, yes. Bhuyo eva mahabahu Sirume paramam vacha yotte aham piyamanayo vakshami hito kamonayo. Hare Krishna.
Any Matajis and Prabhujis, please.
Sure, Mataji, I can read. श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमां वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रियमाण्या प्रिय यत् यत् यत्तेऽहं प्रियमाण्या वक्ष्यामि हितकामयाय.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. And then any Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can also try. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Bhuya Eva Mahabaho Shrunu me paramam vacha Yatteham priyaman Nyanya Vakshami Hitakamyaya. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhujis and Matajis. So next is our synonyms and translation. Any Matajis or Prabhujis wants to read, please go ahead.
I can read, Mother.
Sure, Prabhuji, please.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, Bhuyaha, again, Eva, certainly, Mahabaho, O mighty armed, Srinu, just hear, me, my, I think, Paramam, Supreme, Vachaha, instruction, yet that which they to you, Aham, I, Priyamanaya, thinking you dear to me, Vakshyami, say, ita, ita kamyaya, for your benefit. Translation by His Divine Grace, S.U. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. Hare Krishna. Back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So the purport is small, so but if Mataji and Prabhuji, so one Mataji and one Prabhuji wants to read, they can read the first and second paragraph.
You can try to repeat, Mataji.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Bhagwan is explained thus by Parasamuni, one who is full
Parasar, Mataji.
Parasar, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
Parasaramuni, one who is full in 6 opulences, one who has full strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation is Bhagwan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While Krishna was present on this earth, he displayed all 6 opulences. Therefore, great sages like Parasara Muni have all accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now Krishna is instructing Arjuna in more confidential knowledge of his opulences and his work. Previously, beginning with the 7th chapter, the Lord has already explained his different energies and how they are acting. Now, in this chapter, he explains his specific opulences to Arjuna. In the previous chapter, he has clearly explained his different energies to establish devotion in firm conviction. Again, in this chapter, he tells Arjuna about his manifestations and various opulences.
You can continue, Mataji. I think it's okay.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, please.
The more one hears about the Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. One should always hear about the Lord in the association of devotees that will enhance one's devotional service. Discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Others cannot take part in such discourses. The Lord clearly tells Arjuna that because Arjuna is very dear to him, for his benefit, such discourses are taken place. Hare Krishna. Mataji, from what I'm understanding here, Prabhupada is explaining um, that when Krishna was present on earth, he had beauty, he had fame, he had um, wealth, he had all the six opulences, the qualities that are described here. Um, but still, he was renounced. And that is why everyone uh, accepted him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because he was displaying all the six opulences strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and then renunciation. So, this is what Krishna is also explaining. Even in today's world, in Kali Yuga, anybody who has all these opulences and still they are renounced, they can be, they are known as Bhagwan. And then he goes on to
What you said,
explain.
Mataji? Can you just repeat, please?
Yes, so I think
Just
Prabhupada is saying who is Bhagwan who has all these six opulences, all of these. He has everything, but still he's renounced. So when Krishna appeared on this earth, at that time he displayed all of these opulences, and still he was renounced, and he is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I think Prabhupada is explaining that even in today's world, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I could be wrong, Mataji, but what I'm understanding is like Prabhupada is explaining somebody who has all these qualities, they are Bhagwan.
no, Mataji. Just to correct, just a correction is that Krishna only has the six opulences. No one has these opulences. The six opulences Krishna has only. That is why he is Bhagavan. So Bhaga means opulences and Van means the possessor. So Krishna is the possessor of these six opulences, and it is also explained by Parashar Muni, and that is why he is the only Bhagavan in the whole universe. So many universe we have, but Krishna is the only Bhagavan.
Okay, Mataji.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am. No,
Thank you
that's
for
okay,
correcting
Mataji.
Mataji.
We are all learning, Mataji. So yeah,
So
just
he's explaining that,
yeah.
and then he goes on to explain that the path of bhakti really like it is when we study and we participate in these classes or discourses in the association of pure devotees. These classes take place in order to help devotees like Arjuna who are dear to Krishna, and by participating and learning from the association of the other devotees, then we can become Krishna conscious. I think I understood this much, Mataji. If you can explain
Yes,
more.
Mataji. Yeah, very nice. Yes, very nicely explained. Thank you, Mataji. So, any Prabhujis and Matajis, please, if you have any comments, anything, please go ahead and add Prabhujis and Matajis, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandatana. Yes,
Yes.
Mataji, you wonderfully mentioned here the whole chapter is of Krishna's opulence. I mean, of course, everything is there, but majorly discussing about Krishna's opulence here. And also, Prabhupada mentions here that, Krishna tells us to listen carefully as he will reveal more wonderful knowledge about, because in the last chapter also he gave us the confidential knowledge, and now he's giving, his opulences, the qualification, is for us to hear, attentively. And he says that I shall speak for your benefit knowledge, but, you know, so Bhagavan, meaning of this word explained by Parashar Muni here, one who is full of six opulences, as you wonderfully explained, he is the Bhagavan. And so that Bhagavan is Krishna, non-different, right? He is uh, gives more confidential knowledge, and the significance of lens. In the chapter 7 also Lord explained his different energies and how they are acting upon this material world. And in the ninth chapter, the Lord explained, established his different energies to establish the devotion, right? And now benefits of hearing more, because even in the nine process of devotional service, Shravanam, the first is Shravanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, right? The first is, that's why we have 2 ears and one mouth, so we have to always hear about Bhagavan, the Lord Krishna. So fixed in the devotional service, there more one hears, the more one becomes fixed in the devotional service. And hearing in the association of devotees enhances the devotional service. That's why when we have to enhance our devotional service, we have to all come together like this, and parasparam, we have to discuss with one another with eagerness, and that is the best qualification we can have. Discourses in the society of the devotees, can take place only among the who is really anxious about Krishna consciousness, right? Like Arjuna was hearing about Krishna all the time. That's my understanding, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Yes, it's very important to have the association of devotees and to hear about Krishna from the elevated souls. So, any Prabhujis and Matajis, please add.
Yeah, I just say a few things. Uh, so Krishna in the previous chapters, as you mentioned, is summarized here. He spoke about different energies: his superior energy, the marginal energy, and the inferior energy. And uh, we are in the marginal energy, and we are also uh, totally uh, mesmerized by uh, to some extent, by the material energy, the inferior or the marginal. And as a result, we think that we're getting satisfaction and we're enjoying life that way, but we know it's full of miseries, dukkhalaya ashashvatam, as we heard, and this there's miseries and it's temporary. So the purpose of explaining that is that Krishna was then showing that there are different types of devotees. Those who are really very advanced and they can see through all this and they know that they are the spirit soul and the real constitutional position. They understand that they should be part and parcel of Krishna. So as a result, they are very they practice Krishna consciousness with uh, with a great deal of enthusiasm and sincerity and humility, and they all become they try to do their best to go back to uh, Goloka Vrindavan. But on the other hand, the people who are in the material energy are bewildered by the material energy or Maya. They are forever uh, have to repeat this cycle of birth and death, And for such people, it probably take millions and millions of lifetime before they can get out of that cycle, or they can degrade even further. So, having explained that, then the question comes up in this chapter: how does okay, Krishna says is talking about all these energies. So now, how do we get out of that? So how do we enhance our bhakti? So to do that, that's why this chapter is called the opulence of the absolute truth. The absolute truth is Krishna, and the opulence is all the glories, all the opulences that are six opulences that are already described above, and uh, and learning about him not just by ourselves, because we are constantly some material distraction will be there. But if we are there in association with the devotees, then our focus is on whoever is giving us the talk, or for instance, this Bhagavad Gita class. We're all here talking about what we understand. So that becomes very critical. That's very important. We can't do it just by ourselves. Those are the few things, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, it's very true. We cannot do by ourselves. That will be like speculative. That will be mental speculations. If we would like to analysis the Bhagavad Gita by ourselves, we can't do that. We need to take the association of the realized souls, the pure devotees with Srila Prabhupada and his books, his purport is a big help, and also hearing Srila Prabhupada's lectures is also very important, and then discuss among us, among the devotees. So it's very important. Thank you, Prabhuji, for pointing out the important topics. And anyone else, Prabhuji's, Mataji's, wants to add? Anyone? This first sloka of chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute. If no, then I can. Prabhuji, Baladev Prabhu, you want to?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu,
So
please.
this is opulence of the absolute. So Krishna will tell his opulences, around 82 opulences. And the next chapter, Krishna actually display the opulences. So you have to remember the all opulences so we can match in the next chapter how many he showed to Arjuna. As you said, Mata, it is a Srinu. We had this Srinu in the fourth chapter also. So same thing here, Srinu. That means Krishna is telling all the verses, and we are always listening. But specific verses, he's telling us Srinu. That means we should give more attention, rapt attention on those verses. And Krishna also here telling the Arjuna, he's calling Arjuna as a mighty arm, Mahabahu. So why Arjuna mentioning Krishna always, or Arjuna always calling each other with different names. For Krishna, actually, I forgot the total numbers, but anyway. So when Krishna is calling Mahabahu, at this point, Krishna is telling Arjuna that you have to be strong enough to overcome Maya to get uplifted to spiritual level. So these are the few came to my mind. Back to Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, very important points you said. Mahabahu always. Krishna is addressing Arjuna with different names. So, the senior devotee in his lecture, he mentioned that uh, Krishna is giving the respect to his devotees, Arjuna. So he never says, oh Arjuna, very few times maybe, but always like, oh Mahabahu, oh Partha, oh Dhananjaya. So that way he called names of his devotees to show his respect to his devotees. So, so now I will just take you to the very important sloka in chapter 2, um, verse 7. If someone wants to read, it will be great. It's a Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 7. If anyone wants to read who doesn't read yet? Mahesh Prabhu wants to read.
Yeah, I can try, Mataji. Yeah.
Yes, please.
कर्पण्य दोषपाता स्वभावः प्रचम्मि त्वम धर्म समुद्धचिता य श्रेष्यस्यान निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यासते हम साधि मम त्वं प्रपन्नाम. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So it's a very beautiful and important sloka where Krishna is becoming a guru, spiritual master of Arjuna, and Arjuna will become the devotee of Lord Krishna, disciple of Lord Krishna, disciple of Krishna by surrendering to his lotus feet. So that's the sloka is Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava prichamitam dharma sambhuda cheta yashreha nishitam bruhitan me shishaste ham sadhimam tam prapanyam. So the translation here, Arjuna is telling, now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So here in this battle, in the battlefield, Arjuna is totally confused. He cannot think more. So he is giving all himself to the lotus feet of Krishna by surrendering unto him and becoming his disciple. Then Krishna will start speaking. So now our current verse is the opulences of Lord Krishna. So I am taking you there. So here Krishna is telling Arjuna, Bhuya eva mahabaho srinumi paramam vachaha yatte ham priyamanaya bhakshayami hita kamaya. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Srinu, what Prabhuji just mentioned few minutes ago. Srinu means just hear what I am saying, that is Krishna saying to Arjuna. And also very important here, some of the few points very important that Krishna is telling for your benefit. Oh my dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further. So everything happening on Krishna's will, because Arjuna is a surrendered soul to the Lord. So that's why Krishna first told him, explained him about the most confidential knowledge, and then Krishna is going to speak about his opulences. And here, that's why the whole conversation is happening between Krishna and Arjuna. So here also Parashar Muni is mentioning about Bhagavan. So as I explained before, that Bhaga means the opulences or Vibhuti, and Van means the possessor of that opulences or Vibhuti. And when Mataji was explaining, so Mataji says about 6 opulences of Krishna described by Parashar Muni, which is who has full strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty and renunciation, is Bhagavan. And Krishna only possesses these 6 opulences, no one else. That's why he is the supreme personality of Godhead. In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma says, the first verse of Brahma Samhita, glorifying Lord Krishna is Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. So Krishna is the Adi Purush, Govinda. And yesterday Prabhuji was asking the primeval Lord. So the primeval Lord is the two-handed Sham Sundar. He is the primeval Lord. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is the Bhagavan. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, nowhere it's described as Sri Krishna says or Sri Krishna Uvacha or Vasudeva Uvacha or Shamsundar Uvacha. It says Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Bhagavan means only Krishna, no one else. So this is the first important point we discussed. And then Krishna is instructing Arjuna about, will instruct about his opulences. And actually, with these opulences, uh, will Krishna will give us that intelligence to love him, worship him, feel, urge to know him. This opulences actually will also help and the to know Krishna, to learn Krishna, to be anxious about Krishna. So now the next chapter is next paragraph says, the more one hears about the Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. So as Shubal Prabhuji explained about hearing more and more and more. So we need to hear about Krishna more and more so that we can become fixed in his service. And this hearing should happen in the association of devotees. As Raghu Prabhu says, association, we cannot do everything by ourselves. We need the devotees association, and then we will be able to understand. And as my spiritual teacher, His Grace Pran Govinda Prabhuji told that always be mindful that do not try to know Krishna by yourself independently. No, never. Always under the guidance of Guru, under the guidance of Shastra. Always. So, so that's why it is important. Like we need to hear our realized souls, which is very important to hear from the realized souls, because that realized souls always sees Krishna. And who is the realized souls? We know is our Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has all the recordings in YouTube where Prabhupada explained Bhagavad Gita. So we should listen to his lectures. We should listen to what he says, because hearing Srila Prabhupada will be able to get that taste, because they are the realized souls. And when we hear them, their mercy, their eagerness will come to us. So that's way we'll get their mercy. So His Grace Prangovinda Prabhuji told us, like when someone get the mercy of the superior, someone gets the mercy of the pure devotee, then they can advance in the Krishna consciousness, no doubt about it. So that's why it is important to hear about the pure devotees, their realization, what they are saying. Important to hear their devotees who has their spiritual masters, to hear what they are saying, the spiritual masters is saying, as well as the spiritual teachers who are guiding us, to hear them. So those will actually help us to get more test in Krishna consciousness. Their mercy is very important. So here, so that's why as Arjuna is very much inclined to Krishna and devoted himself completely to Krishna without any doubt, with full faith, full attention, full affection. Krishna, whatever you will do, I will know, I will learn from you. Whatever you will decide, I will take that. So that way, Arjuna is totally surrendered, submissive to Krishna. So that's why Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, and that is why Krishna is saying, you are dear to me for your benefit. These two phrases are so important. You are dear to me and for your benefit. These two phrases are very, very like we can meditate upon these two phrases. It's so beautiful that Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are dear to me. So that's why this discourse is taking place here. So, if anyone has any comments or any addition, then we can go. We have 20 minutes. We can go to the next verse. What, Prabhuji, Mataji, what you want? Do you want to continue this verse or we should go to the next verse? What do you want, Prabhuji and Matajis, please tell me.
If there
Go
are
to
no
the
No
go to
comments,
the
problem.
next verse, Prabhu Mataji.
Next part?
Good.
Okay,
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Also, Mataji, I want to add
Yes.
not only Arjuna is dear to Krishna,
Mhm.
and also he also explained all these things because Arjuna is like follows all the Vedic scriptures. So that's what I heard from Nada Prabhuji. And that's another reason also why Bhagavad Gita was taught to him, So Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna.
Yes, Mataji, because Arjuna is a Kshatriya. He
Yeah,
has to follow all the Vedic script
yeah.
regulations and injunctions, Mataji, because he is a Kshatriya. Yes,
Yes.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for adding this. So, Mataji, please read the next verse, please.
Sure, Mataji.
Okay. Then.
Name viduha suragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham adir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvanshaha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Mahesh Prabhu wants to read, please.
Mataji, can
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Name vidu surgana prabhavanna maharshaya ahamma dihi devanna maharshina cha sarvashah. Thank you, Mataji.
I think Harini
Prabhuji,
Mataji
next.
wanted to read.
Yeah, yes,
Yes,
please.
yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dana
Sure.
Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharsaya aham adirhi devanam maharsinam cha sarvasaha. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dana Pranam,
Thank
all
you.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji. So, any Prabhujis or Matajis, please read the synonyms and translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can read.
Sure.
Dandavat Pranam everyone. Na, never, me, my, Bidu, no, Suraganaha, the demigods, Prabhavam, the origin, Opulences, Na, never, Maharashaya, the great sages, Aham, I am, Adi, the origin, he certainly, Devanam, of the demigods, Maharishinam, of the great sages, Cha, also, Sharvashaha, in all respects. Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki joy. Neither of the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for reading. So, Parpot, please, I think two devotees can read the Parpot.
I can read the first paragraph, Mataji.
Sure, Prabhu.
As stated in Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all causes. Here it is stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods, the great sages, cannot understand Krishna. They can understand neither his name nor his personality. So, what is the position of the so called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why the Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. One should know, then, that scholarship is not a qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also, it is clearly said even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism of something not manifested by three qualities of material nature, or they can imagine something by mental speculation, but it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculation. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you will summarize this, what you read.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Here, wonderfully, explaining in Brahma Samhita, because Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Kandama. You wonderfully, sang in our Janmashtami Mataji, where it says that no one is greater than him. He is the cause of all causes, and no, he's even the demigod, sages, and of course every living entity, everything, the cause of all causes is Lord Krishna. Sometimes even the great sages, even though they have performed tapasya for hundreds and thousands of years, even the demigods cannot understand him fully. Only a pure devotee can understand him. No one can understand why the Supreme God, even though he comes, in so many forms, in even in the like as a like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, he comes in unlimited forms. So that's why even sometimes, I mean, one time, even Lord Brahma was not able to comprehend Lord Krishna, seeing him in such a small Krishna form. So one cannot understand Krishna by his scholarship or by his speculation. Only by his pure bhakti we can understand Krishna, because only by his mercy we can understand. Uh, that's what I think. And also here, Prabhupada says that even the demigods are not able to understand, and also they speculate, right? Because even we don't have our senses are not perfect. We have, even a dog can see better than us, hear better than us. So, it's not about the senses, about only pure bhakti is needed. That's my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Very beautifully explained, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So, devotees, please read the other two paragraphs, please. Who wants to read?
I can read, Mataji, if anybody
Yes,
else.
please, Mata. Yes.
Here, the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme. One should know this. Although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is personally present, he nonetheless exists. We can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, simply by studying his words in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation, out of his causeless mercy he descends to show favor to such speculators. Yet, despite the Supreme Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination in the material energy, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the Supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand by the grace of the Supreme Personality that He is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately onto the Supreme Lord, and out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So even great sages agree, what is Atma? What is the Supreme? It is He whom we have to worship.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji. Yes.
I will try to explain what I'm understanding, but I think this is maybe senior devotees can explain this better, Mataji. From what I'm understanding, Prabhupada is explaining that it is not really possible with this material eyes and material senses to understand Krishna. Even the very um, learned scholars and sages, they also cannot fully understand Krishna. But a pure devotee who's trying to understand Krishna, he will they can understand him by reading the words in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. And a pure devotee is not really understanding Krishna or or understanding him in the form of the impersonal Brahman. But even to those people who understand him as the impersonal Brahman, Krishna is still showing mercy and um, and and giving showing favors to them, to those mental speculators. And then he goes on to explain that only by the grace of the Supreme Personality, Krishna can be understood. Um, by 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 having full faith and trying to sincerely understand Krishna and surrender onto him, and um, by doing devotional service, only by this devotional service really, Krishna can be understood when he wants to reveal himself because of his causeless mercy. There is nothing that we can do that qualifies us to that, but out of just causeless mercy, when Krishna wants, then he can reveal himself. And in the last part, Prabhupada goes on to explain. So even the great sages, they try to understand what is Atma and what is the Supreme, and that is what is worshipable. I don't think I fully understood, Mataji. If you can explain more, I think that will be beneficial for everyone. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji. Sure, Mataji. But you pointed out some important um, aspects, Mataji, of this verse. Thank you, Mataji. So, any Prabhujis, please, any Prabhuji, Matajis wants to enlighten us. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, one thing.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's Krishna is saying here that it's uh, that he's what Brahma described about him in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarna Karna. We know that much from what Brahma has described. But still, we we don't fully understand uh, how or how what exactly how Krishna is. So to help us better understand, uh, yeah, one other thing is that many people are captivated again by the inferior energy of the Lord, and they know that there is Brahma Jyoti, there's the light coming from Krishna, and they're more captivated by that, and they think that itself is uh, is Bhagavan or God. But actually, that is just the energy from the energetic, and they don't really understand the energetic, that there is energetic behind the energy. So to help us understand that, uh, Krishna himself, many avatars, he descends, as we see in Goloka Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, that he descends to the earth and he conducts his various pastimes, such as lifting the Govardhan hill on on the smallest finger of his left hand. So for 7 days and 7 nights, if I'm correct. Uh, and so here he is, for him it's really nothing, but he is trying to show to the devotees, to the believers, that here is the Supreme Lord Himself, and nobody else can really do all this. So their faith enhances. But on the other hand, there are also uh, non-believers like Kamsa, who was all the time worried about his own mortality, and he was he wanted to kill Krishna, all the eighth child, but of course we know that he didn't succeed, and Kamsa eventually fell to uh, fell to Krishna. So yeah, those are some of the things I wanted to mention. Thank you, Manu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very, very important point, Prabhuji. You explained very nicely. Thank you so much. Yes. So Krishna comes to this material world like he doesn't have to come to this material world, but he comes to this material world to release his rasa, as well as he also care for his devotees too. So that's why Krishna descended in this material world with different incarnations. And in Brahma Samhita, as you said, Lord Krishna is glorified by Lord Brahma, who is the secondary creator of this universe. He is saying that Krishna is the Adi Purus, the Supreme Lord, as well as Parashar Muni, just we saw in the previous verse, is describing Krishna as Bhagavan. And who is Bhagavan? Who has six opulences. So, Krishna, only the essence of this chapter is that, I mean, this verse is that Krishna is only understandable by his devotees who has love and devotion for Krishna. Other people who do not have love and devotion for Krishna just want to know Krishna by their scholarly qualities or by mental speculations, by thinking, oh, Krishna that does this. Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill. Oh, maybe he's. No, Krishna is a person. Krishna definitely. So I was listening to Prabhupada's lecture today about this verse. So Prabhupada is telling that people who are the envious people, they want to enjoy themselves. So they are getting lot of different mental speculations, thinking about Krishna is this, Krishna is that. But Krishna is the supreme. He came is a two-handed form in this in Vrindavan, Gokul. His Samsundar form is always worshipable by the devotees. And so Krishna is a person, but Krishna is our supreme. His body is Satchit Ananda. His body is spiritual body. His body is not material. None of a single fraction of his hair also is not material. Everything is spiritual. He is Satchidananda. So Krishna is supreme and he understood by his pure devotees. Like here, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna himself spoke Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam talks about Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's sweet pastimes. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. And even he's in this verse also, it's saying demigods are not able to understand, demigods and sages. What about the scholarly peoples, tiny planet in this tiny planets? No question about it, because the great demigods may not have that devotion, that love for Krishna, what pure devotee has. So we need to take the shelter of the pure devotee. We need to take the shelter of our acharyas, who will guide us, who will give us the mercy, who will give us the intelligence to know Krishna, to understand Krishna. It's very hard to understand Krishna. Demigods not even able to understand, Brahma not able to understand Krishna. Krishna is not that easy, but he is easy to his devotees. He is a Bhakta Vatsala. So that's why Krishna is easy to attain by his pure devotees. No other than his devotees, he cannot be attainable. That's what Prabhupada is emphasizing here. And also, he says that I am the present, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, in several verses, he told Arjuna that I am the Supreme, I am Bhagavan. No Bhagavan in anywhere he says about I am the Bhagavan, but he says so he is the Bhagavan. We have to keep that one in our heart all the time. Krishna is our Supreme Lord. Krishna is our Bhagavan. And he has different millions of incarnations. Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Varaha Avatar, Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, everything emanates from Krishna. And our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came 550 years ago in this earth, in the mood of a devotee, he is also no other than Krishna himself. So that's why here it says the Supreme Personality of great sages agree that what is Atma, they agree that, and what is the Supreme? What is the Supreme? It is He whom we have to worship. The sages also agrees that. That's that way Prabhupada ended this verse, this purport, that what is the Supreme? It is He whom we have to worship. So beautiful. And why people will go for impersonal Brahman when Krishna, the Supreme Sham Sundar, so beautiful Sham Sundar with flute in his hand, present in form of deity in front of us, then why we need to go for the lights, Krishna's Brahmajati, which is just the lights, effulgence coming from Krishna? Why will worship the lights? Why not we worship the Krishna, the personal form of Krishna? And whoever wants love the Lord Rama, they can worship Lord Rama. Whoever love Krishna, they can worship Krishna. Who likes more Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they can worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All of them are no one but Krishna. So that is the essence of this particular verse. So I think if we do not have any comments, we can
Can I
end.
say one thing, Mataji?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So one thing I forgot to mention is that uh, to understand Krishna, the devotion is very important, and that's why we have in this Kali Yuga the Maha Mantra. So
Yes.
because the name and form of the Lord are the same, and we can't. So the only way we can cultivate that taste is to do the chanting. That's why the chanting is very important. That's
Yes,
all.
chanting and hearing, Prabhu, both. Chanting and then hearing about Krishna, like
Right.
the way we are discussing. But
Yeah.
yeah, very important. You raised a very important point, Prabhuji. Yes,
Thank you.
chanting is very important. That is the first thing, chanting. Then we need to hear. How much we will hear, we will get that taste for Krishna, and then doing the devotional service. Service, and service. That also will help us to love Krishna. And I will just end with just one sentence about this service, Prabhuji. Uh, so Krishna will give the intelligence to the devotee, saying that how much intense anxiety he has, or he or she has, for Krishna. So that is totally up to Krishna, what Krishna will give us, the mercy. That mercy is in his hand. So that's why we need to chant, we need to hear, and we need to beg his mercy all the time. Then he will love us. That's what I just saying. And a very important point, Prabhuji, you said about chanting and hearing and devotional service. So three things very important for our progress. Thank you, everyone. I think we are out of time. Thank you so much, Matajis and Prabhujis.
Hari Bol. Thank you,
Hari Bol.
Mataji.
Hari Bol, Mataji.
Hari
Thank
Bol,
you.
Paswati Mataji.
Vasudhi
Thank you,
Mataji
Mataji.
ki jai.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, the Prabhuji's, Dandar Pranam, all glories to
Dhanyavad
Srila
Pranam.
Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.